online motivational content, because I find a lot of it to be, I want to say deeply troubling, but let's just settle for somewhat problematic. There is a lot of focus on mental peace in online motivational content, how to find peace of mind, how to focus, how to not get distracted and everything. And I can understand this having practical utility for someone in school or college, because पढ़ाई पे मन लगाना अच्छी बात है. But when you make it a template for life itself, then some unforeseen things happen, because your mental peace is probably important to you, but there are more important things than your mental peace in the world. So, for example, if there is a social issue that is burning across the country, and you need to pay attention to it, for example, the bulldozer stuff that is happening in Jahangirpuri today. If you look at news of that on television, you will feel disturbed, but then you will think that I need to be motivated and focused and everything, so I will not think about it, I'll think about myself. This message, that when it comes from motivational gurus, it is a recipe for selfishness in on one level, and that I find problematic, because uh, we talk about toxic positivity a lot, right? Like, people are saying, why focus on all the negative stuff, just think positive thoughts, as if thinking positive thoughts is going to solve the problem. And also, thinking positive thoughts is not possible for everyone. If you are able to think positive thoughts and keep yourself out of everything that is happening in society, then you are privileged. You have the ability to do that, not because of your personal greatness, but because you are protected from all that. For example, if violence is happening against Muslims, the only reason you are able to not focus on that and think positive thoughts is because your house is probably not being torn down. It's probably because mainstream media channels are not calling out for violence against you. So, if someone, by the way, there are two aspects to this. One is that if you can keep yourself away from it, you are privileged. And B, if you can't keep yourself away from it because you are affected on a very personal level by things that are happening in society, it is not your fault. You're not supposed to focus at the cost of genuine, tangible social realities, issues, communalism, violence, corruption, crime, etc. These are things that you should focus on. These are things that, when you think about them, you don't become less of a. Is there a word for people who go for motivation? You don't become less of a hustler if you worry about social problems. A lot of times when motivational gurus, quote unquote, talk about this stuff and say, iske bare mein mat socho, they're essentially telling you to be selfish. And I don't think that is a good thing. Individual choice is important. Individualism is somewhat important, but it is not all important. For example, social forces play a huge role in things that you can achieve or not achieve. So when a motivational guru tells you that it's all up to you, man, your personal effort can either make you or break you. Your personal effort is going to take you all the way to success. And if you don't, then you're obviously not making enough effort. And that, I think, is a bad message to give people, especially because social forces are more than 50% of it. A lot of people who young people look up to, billionaires, and you've seen those videos, like that full of praises for the hard work and the genius of this falana industrialist who is among the top 2% richest people in the world, and their videos about how they said something really smart, how they gave you a life lesson or something. A lot of these people actually did not get to where they are through sheer uh, hard work. There were social conditions which were helping them without maybe even them knowing. There are privileges that are available to many people that are not available to some people. For example, if you are white, you have white privilege. If you are savarna, you have savarna privilege. If you are a man, you have male privilege. These all play a role in deciding how successful you are going to be in any effort. And to say that only hard work will get you all the way is to close your eyes to all these things. And two things happen when you close your eyes to these things. One, you think that everyone who failed because they didn't put in enough hard work. and B, if you fail because you are from a position uh, where the your personal lack of social privilege in any way affects your chances of succeeding, then you start blaming yourself. You start thinking, नहीं मैंने hard work नहीं किया, मुझे और करना चाहिए था, and you keep going down a path which is never going to lend anything other than disappointment. And then it affects your mental health also, because you start blaming yourself for it. So, social forces, social realities, discriminatory practices, these are all things that are going to affect your hustle in a big way. And to not talk about them at all in the motivational content, I think is problematic. This idea is almost religious. Like, if you are good, good will happen to you. If you give, people will give you. If you think positive thoughts, positive things will happen to you. There is no scientific foundation for this. That is not how the world works. B, if you believe that, then in addition to being almost a religious thing, if you believe that, you will set yourself up for disappointment, because you will put something out into the world, and then you will not get it, and then you will either be disappointed or blame yourself, as I said in the previous point. So this idea of reciprocity sounds very nice when you talk about it with nice background music playing, etc. And the charismatic person on stage talking about, I promise you this, the universe will deliver. The universe may not deliver, because the universe is actually not that simple. The universe works in complicated ways, and human ambition is a very small part of it. Those who succeed, as I said, succeed for a lot of reasons that have nothing to do with how much effort they put into it. People who we look up to, the billionaires, etc., a lot of us who hustle in order to get to be that person are never going to get there, because there are overwhelming factors with respect to access, with respect to uh, the law, with respect to power structures in society that work against us. A lot of the people who say, I worked hard and I got everything, the problem with believing that is that you give hard work so much importance that you forget to think about anything else. And in that anything else is a whole lot of stuff that you should pay attention to, because individual effort will only take you so far. Social realities matter a lot. And I don't find many motivational speakers talking about it, let alone acknowledging it. In fact, I'll point this out. Many popular Indian online motivational speakers are actually Savarna Hindu men. So, what they achieved in life can, at least to a certain degree, be attributed to their social privileges. But when they give the gyan to young people, they don't talk about it. So, the young person who is not aware of these factors in any case will think that if they don't get what these people got, it's purely because of lack of hard work. And a lot of them actually, I'm sorry to say, didn't even work that hard. They have generational wealth, they have their gender privilege, they have their caste privilege and religious privilege, and a lot of these factors worked to make them who they are, and this needs to be talked about. A lot of motivational content tends to be designed for boys, because when you hear the language of it, when you hear the way they speak about achievement, about value, etc., it seems like, so I went through a video on the channel of Chetan Bhagat, and his video was about men need men need to achieve stuff in order to be valuable. And in the beginning he did not mention it, but eventually he did say it also. Like, if you're a woman, you don't need to achieve in order to be valuable, because you have value. And if you are a man, you need to achieve something in order to have value. And throughout the video, he did not mention what achievement means or what value means, right? Because he's clearly talking about making money. He's basically saying, if you make money, you'll get laid. And he's talking to boys. He's not talking about all the struggles that women go through. We already have a problem of young men, thinking that society is not fair to them for no reason. And the only reason they think this is because they are not aware of how unfair society is to women. When a well known popular author says shit like, men need to achieve stuff in order to be valuable, but women are valuable in any case. They don't have to work hard. He's reinforcing ideas about he's reinforcing sexist ideas about what young boys already think. By the way, this idea of you will get laid if you make money is also so toxic on another level, because it paints women as there's this entire subgenre of content. What was it called? Gold digger videos, right? लड़का आता है साइकिल निकाल के, लड़की उसको हूँ बोल के चली जाती है, फिर लड़का कार निकालता है तो लड़की बोलती है मैं तेरे पास, लाइक what are these boys growing up to think of women as? They will watch that video 5 times, then they will see a couple of more like that, then Chetan Bhagat will come and tell you that if you make money, women will have sex with you. Their outlook about women and other things in life is being shaped by this content. Is it any wonder that at a later point in time they get to a they say ये feminist लोग सब मतलब बदमाश हैं, because they don't fit inside this narrative.